Hello friends, so today we are going to talk PF42, that is issuance criteria in PingFederate. So issuance criteria in PingFed is mainly built by the PingFederate developer for applying the restriction at PingFederate. So what exactly PingFed is doing, right? If you can see, like we talk about SAML OAuth, we talk about OpenID Connect, yeah, WS Fair, WS Trust. So in everywhere, basically we are generating like handling the authentication part and then generating the token, right? So before generating the token, also we have something in the PingFederate like where we can do some restriction. Like once user authentication is completed, we can just apply a restriction. Like we can restrict a group of users. We can restrict this domain user, right? So you can just apply some logic there, and you can do the restriction. So that is about issuance criteria. So in this session, we'll try to see like there are two ways to restrict. One, it's a like simpler way where PingFed is already defining that you can just restrict using some parameters like with the group parameter, with the domain parameter, or like that. And yeah, like we can also write an ordinal expression for in the issuance criteria also. Like for example, if you want to restrict a user from Germany, right? And you want to just allow like maybe if you want to allow the Germany people, but if the Germany people have the business category something, you don't want to allow them, right? So these are some use cases I'm talking. So you can just write an ordinal expression where you are just allowing the Germany if their business category is something, but if other, you can block like that. So you can just write an ordinal expression, and you can just implement that, put that in the like PingFederate, and that can just restrict the user of that particular business category what we are talking, right? So that's only one of the use cases, but yeah, we can discuss more. And yeah, like in the ordinal challenge, as I discussed, we have some use cases for this also where we can discuss more. Yeah, so yeah, let's begin. We are in PF42, that is issuance criteria. So this is mainly for the restriction part, as I told. So restriction means, like if I can show you the SP connection, it can be applied in any of, like whether WS Fair, WS Trust, whether SAML, OAuth, OpenID Connect. In any of the connection, you can just apply those restriction. And how you can apply, like let me show you. So for example, if you have this SAML connection, okay, Salesforce, just open this. And right now we have, I think these attributes we have configured. So now like let's try to first test this application and see what all the values you are getting from the directory server. Just want to see that, and then we can try to apply some restriction. So basically PingFederate is doing two things. One, or PingFederate, any product, right? In the case of this authentication thing, it's basically handles the authentication based on whatever the authentication mechanism you set or configured. Post that, it will just generate the token and send back to the application, so that application can consume that token and authorize the user to access their application or some activity, to allow them to perform some activity. So now before generating the token, you can apply a restriction also at PingFederate with some conditions. So PingFed can check those and then stop you if you are not fulfilling that condition. So in that case, basically Ping can give you some error page if you are accessing the IDP initiated SSO URL. And in case of service provider initiated SSO URL, PingFed is definitely going to PingFed basically going to generate a token, but it is not having any attribute values because you are not fulfilled that condition. So now it depends on the application that how they are going to handle that error, because they are not getting any attribute values in the token. So maybe if they have any defined error page, so that can be also, or maybe you can just create some error page or like that, and you can display that to the user. It depends on app to app, like how they want to handle the error. Okay, but yeah, if you are accessing the IDP initiated SSO URL, then you will see a default error page of the PingFederate. I'll show you. Just click on sign on. I just want to see the summary. Okay, so right now we have only one like this user Abhishek Arts 211 @identity.com. This belongs to only one group. Okay, so let me just copy this group value and keep it somewhere. I'll store it somewhere. Okay, so this user is having one group in the AD. It belongs to this PingFederate trainer group in the AD. Okay, CN PingFederate trainer, OU people, DC example, DC com. Okay, now let me show you the restriction area. It's called as a issuance criteria. Okay, so in issuance criteria you have the option, right, like to just choose the value as it is shown here, like the source, attribute name, condition, and the value. If this matches, it's fine. If not, then you can just add some error result here that can be displayed to the user. I'll show you that also. So for example, just choose the source here as a APC because you have a group attribute there. Select the attribute name as a groups, and in the condition, so this group is currently basically giving you the DN value. You can see CN equal to PingFederate OUDC DC, right? This is nothing but a DN of the group, you can say. Distinguish name of the group. Okay. Now what we are just trying to restrict the user. If the user is part of this group, like CN equals to PingFederate trainer, PingFederate underscore trainer, that is fine. If they are not part of this group, then we want to do some restriction. We are saying PingFederate, hey PingFederate, authenticate the user, but post authentication just stop the user by checking the condition. Like just if the user is fulfilling this condition, then it's fine. Otherwise, stop the user at the PingFed side only. Okay. So what we are trying to do, let's copy this value, come to the issuance criteria. So the source just choose as a APC because we have the attribute as a groups in the APC. Now in the condition, just mention here as a multi-value contains case insensitive. Yeah, multi-value contains means whatever the value you have, like we can say DN as a multi-value contains case insensitive also, and just enter the value here, the complete DN, and then define the error result as a access denied. Okay, just click on add. So what is this basically? So once user authentication has been done, then PingFederate will just check this condition that if user is part of this group, like CN equals to PingFederate trainer OU people TC example TC com, then it's fine. Then PingFederate will allow, or basically it will just generate the SAML token and send back to the application. But if user is not part of this group, like PingFederate trainer, so in that case it can simply just give a default error page what PingFed having with the result message as access denied. So that's a basic thing, right? So this is one of the method you can restrict the user using groups, right? You choose the source as a APC, you define the attribute name groups, you put the condition, okay, and then the value. Okay. So if the user have the group this, then it's fine. If not, stop them. Okay. Just save it and let's test. Cluster management happened. Okay. Let's copy the URL. Now like Abhishek Arts, it belongs to that group. So if I can just access with my that account, then I will be allowed. But we can try with some other account also. Okay. So let me launch the SAML tracer and just access this URL. Okay. So now if I just put my Abhishek ID, if I just copy my Abhishek's ID, like this is the one, then it should allow me. If I put username Abhishek Arts and the password is this, then just click on sign on. So yeah, this is expected. So PingFed has just authenticate me using that HTML form, generated a SAML token and sent to the Salesforce. Now if you can just see the SAML response, you can able to see the summary as it is, right? The subject, first name, phone number, groups, email, last name, username. There is no issue because I am part of this group, so I am allowed. But let's try to test some other account who are not part of this group. Like maybe I have some account in the OpenDJ. I mentioned somewhere. Yeah, this is all account I have in the OpenDJ. So let's try to test with some like test2 example.com. Okay, first let me just copy the URL of the Salesforce and let's access. Okay, now just give the account of the another, just try to use another account of your OpenDJ that you created, like test2, password will be same, click on sign on. You can see what it says, access denied. So this account, so after authentication this happened. So once I'm just using IDP initiated SSO URL, so I directly went to the PingFederate. PingFederate just handle my authentication using HTML form because that is configured for this application. Post authentication, PingFed check the condition that whether this test2 user is part of that PingFederate trainer group or not. So it found I'm not part of that. So simply just given me the default error page with the access denied, sign on error, and then the adapter is coming as a HTML form appendage. Okay, this is expected. But if you access the SP initiated SSO URL, then this error page will not be displayed, because what PingFed will do in that case, like, because the request came from the application side to PingFederate, so PingFed will just complete the authentication, generate the token, but it is not having any assertion value, just have the the destination address and those, and it will just send the response like without the assertion value to the application. Now it's application that how they're going to handle that error. Maybe if they have some defined error page, they can redirect the user to that page, or yeah, if maybe they can build something, they can develop some, or maybe they can just take some help from our side also. So we can also just deploy some error page, and we can also redirect a user. We have that option also in PingFederate. So those all things are later, but yeah, that's a basically fundamental thing, okay, for this restriction. This is one method. Now you understand this, right? The restriction. Now if I can go back to PingFederate, now you have a question like if I just want to, if right now in this case I see the user is, if user is part of like this group, then allow. If not, then just give access denied. But if I have the case where I need to check multiple condition, like I just need to check whether user is part of this group, and I just need to check the country, like multiple things I need to check, and then I need to allow. So in that case, you just need to write an OGNL expression. So just click on show advanced criteria, just write an OGNL expression, and then you can just give the error result. Okay, and then click on just how we added here, and then you can save and just you can test that. So that is also, and I will just cover this in one of the OGNL challenge example, that yeah, I have a use case where we are just trying to restrict a user based on the country, based on the business category, based on the group. So maybe we can test all those things. If we have not the value in the AD for those things, that is fine. In the OGNL test, I'll show you how you can just make those changes. You can just put the value as an input, and then you can test those. So okay, we can just do those things. So yeah, like for example, if you have multiple groups, right? So if you want to just write an OGNL, like you want to check whether user is part of group A or group B, allow, otherwise deny access, otherwise stop. So just the basic expression I'll show you that you can write here. Yeah, just you can just mention it as this is a very common example, simple expression, that first you can check that this dot get ds.ldap.member of not equal to null, check whether the value is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, then just convert this into a string, and then use the matches function. Okay, I'll say it's a method again, like matches. So you can just want to check the whether the value of this member of matching with this group or not. So how you can just use matches, and then you just need to be careful while you are writing this. So how you can write that? So you have these are the two groups you have, right? Cn equals to admin OU test DC example DC com, and then you have the Cn equal to developer and OU test DC example DC com. So you just need to write in this fashion only, because you have multiple groups here you are checking. So first start with the bracket, double quotes, and then in the bracket just give question mark I, then start with dot star. Whenever you are starting with a group, just mention dot star and end with the dot star, so that yeah, it will not miss or any case insensitive issue will not come. So just remember that. Yeah, I have seen this problem, like when we are not using dot star, it's not picking something. So just start with the dot star, the group name, and end with the dot star. And whenever you are starting a group, just start put a bracket with a question mark I. And whenever you have written one group you completed, then just put a pipe like this, and then just write another group with the question mark I, dot star, another group, dot star end, and you can write multiple, right? 10, 12, whatever, right? And then you can check whether if user is part of group admin or group developer, then it's fine, I can allow. But if user is not part of any of these groups, just you can see false. So this statement is true. Okay, this statement is, if it is matching, then we are allowing. If it is not matches, we are just denying, that is false. So yeah, this type of expression is put in the where like yeah, in the comment section. So yeah, maybe if you want to test, you can test that. That is one thing, right? And how we can just do in the OAuth application, WSFed you can do the similar way, right? How you're doing here, like in the SAML case. For OAuth application, like let me go back to the PingFederate console. So for OAuth thing, like if you remember that you have an option like basically in OAuth or OpenID Connect, let's talk about OpenID Connect only. So in OpenID Connect, what you have, you are basically creating two things. You are basically creating access token manager and the OpenID Connect policy. So in the access token manager, if I can show you, so basically you're trying to create an ATM, right? Like test ATM, you can see. So in test ATM, you're just defining the configurations and the attributes and all. and you're fulfilling that in the access token mapping. So in the access token mapping, you have the privilege to add a issuance criteria. Like if I open this PF learning, the first one, okay, second one, test ATM one. So you can see you have an option of issuance criteria, right? So you can just add a restriction in the access token mapping also. Also for the OpenID Connect policy, you can just go to the OpenID Connect policy, and we have created OIDC PF test. So here also you have the issuance criteria where you can just add a restriction how you are doing, like by defining directly or by using OGNL expression, depends on your requirement. So you can restrict a user, and it is not only basis of group. You can have multiple things, right? As I told, with you can use the context, you can use the different LDAP attributes, you can use the extended properties, you can use the token value. So multiple things are there. You just need to understand exactly what exactly the restriction you need to configure or implement in the PingFederate, and based on that you can do that. Okay, but I'll just show you a very good example once we jump to the example section. Okay, for this restriction part. So maybe you can try and maybe if you have any problem, maybe you can just look into that solution. Okay, I hope you understand this. So let's quickly jump to the next session and we can talk more. Thank you.